call Creve Coeur School District number 76 Board of Education regular meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Linda Bailey.
Here.
Pam Griner.
Here.
Brenda Cagle.
Here.
Rebecca Kern here. Valerie Reagan. Here. Judy Strong.
Here.
Julie True.
Here.
Please stand. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to welcome our audience, and if there's any comments, please state your name and address. Hearing none, we'll move on to action items. E1, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'd like to ask that we can separate those, since I wasn't here for a lot of the meeting minutes, they were to be approved.
Separate the board minutes. I believe, since there is, well, let's take a look. Which ones would you want to separate?
Is it just for approval or for discussion?
For approval. There's 13 sets, only 2.
Of which you were
Of
present
which I was on the
for?
board.
Understood, understood. So take a separate vote for board meeting minutes. We'll put that into action item, and we'll make that E1A, and come back to that with the rest of, that we pulled out of the consent agenda, made its own item, and then you can approve the rest of the consent agenda. So we would just need a motion to do that, and everybody's approval.
Okay, so I will amend the motion to approve the consent agenda, only including the payments list and the treasurer's report. Correct? Does that make sense?
Discussion on the payments list or the treasurer's report?
Well, that's why we have a consent agenda, is so that we do away with the real need for discussion. And that if any board member wants to discuss an individual item, then it can be pulled out and set aside for individual action. The reason to do a consent agenda is to get the basic and bulk of the business of the Board of Education completed without a lot of fanfare and a lot of discussion when they are regular, normal, routine items.
And the ones that Mrs. Griner had asked about, can we comment on those at this time?
Approval of board minutes. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of the payments list and the treasurer's report. So we should take care of that motion first.
And it's there. The motion's in place, the second's in place.
Second's in place. All those in favor?
Will we discuss it?
We discuss it usually at this time, but you're stating that we don't have to. I believe because Mrs. Griner did present that
For the board minutes.
today. Yeah.
No, I also have some questions on the payments list. I emailed Mrs. Davis today and never got a response, so.
And she did get it into the office, and the office has that information. I was surprised it didn't get
Okay.
emailed back.
None that I saw.
All right,
No, I was told it didn't.
my mistake then. So I guess we don't have a consent agenda then. And so what we just need to do is go through each one of these individual items, these items individually. That's what we need to do then. Okay? Because it's not a consent agenda. Not everyone's in consent. Okay, not everyone agrees. There are individual questions about at least the board minutes and the payments list, the treasurer's reports. If there are questions about that, then we do not have a consent agenda.
You can explain the consent agenda, because I was under the impression that the consent agenda just meant that you lump all three of them together, not that we consent to approve it.
It's approval. No, you consent to the approval of these items to get rid of them in an orderly fashion because they are so routine and mundane that they're taken care of. They don't need large discussion from the Board of Education. That's why you consent. You're saying that that is fine and we consent to it and they're approved and you move on.
No, the motion was made to consent, not that we agreed to consent.
Motion to approve the
Right.
consent agenda consisting of items 2 and 3. Okay, motion to approve the consent agenda.
But you still have another motion on the floor.
Right.
So you withdraw.
Well, instead of haggling over this, can we just ask the questions and get it over with?
It's,
Okay. So let's start with number 1 then. Approval of the board minutes.
We pulled those with our agenda though.
We don't
With
have
our
a consent
motion.
agenda anymore. So it's void. So let's get started.
The same as we have a motion on the floor, let's go ahead and discuss that at this time, rather than rescind the motion.
Okay.
Yes, the payment list and the treasury.
Payment list, treasurer's report. Very good.
Because Mrs. Greiner had inquired on that, there's 4 items on our 515 check summary to be paid. The first one being 14459. This was wrote down as relations, public relations. It will be the gift for the Don Garman Award. And
14459 is the
14459 is the gift that will be
Computer
given.
dealer.
Pardon?
It's from a computer dealer?
Yes.
Yes, EDI Computer Dealers Incorporated.
And it is underwritten.
It's for a laptop, I'm sorry, Mrs.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's for a laptop computer to an 8th grade student who's graduating who has demonstrated an overall increase in their performance data from starting from grade 4 until grade 8. So there has been a student who's been identified to receive this Dell laptop computer. It is the Don Garman Award. It is being purchased with funds from district public relations account. However, that is being reimbursed to the district from the United Health
Mutual medical.
Mutual Medical, and they are reimbursing the district for that purchase. So yes, it's an expenditure, but we're receiving a reimbursement.
who came up with Don Garman Award?
I believe that the teachers have been working on it, and Ms. Davis has taken their consensus and went with this award. It will have a plaque, very nice plaque, I saw it. And then, of course, this Dell. And Mrs. Garman will be there tomorrow night also to and it's so appropriate for Mr. Garman. All of us know his tedious reports. And so for this student, they had to go back and follow his years of improvement. So I think we'll all be pleased with it. Mrs. Cornwell is also going to contact Mutual Medical to see how they want, if they just want to give a donation or if they want a receipt. So she'll deal with that. She stated she would contact him, and I would assume that would be tomorrow.
The next item that was questioned was number 14469, which is on page 4 of the check summary. At the very bottom, Guy M. Cahill and Associates, a payment of $137. This is a yearly fee paid to this company that is that is employed on a contractual basis to recapture general state aid monies. It's a recalculation of the general state aid, and then that is turned back into the state to recoup monies that were lost by the school district. The fee is a 15% amount that's based upon the amount that's recaptured. Okay, so he's paying 15%. Okay. And I know Mr. Cahill. I have worked with him in the past, and he is very reputable firm. Number 14479, which is the next page, I believe.
Yes.
7778. Okay. Kitty A. McCartney. Kitty McCartney is an employee, current employee of the school district. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the amount is $1,308.50, which is a reimbursement for tuition of the spring semester of 2013. That this is a tuition reimbursement for classes that Ms. McCarty has been taking and that was approved earlier, and this is just a reimbursement.
So is that in the support staff contract now?
Yes.
That they get.
Yes.
So it's open to all support staff?
Yes.
That's my understanding, yeah. With the same, let's clarify that, with the same conditions and criteria for the certified staff, where the classes and the programs have to be tied to their job position, okay? And it has to be for the betterment of the school district, not just the betterment of the individual. I can't come to you and say I would like to take classes in, macroeconomics or welding classes, because they don't relate to my job. But if I were to come to you as a staff member and say I want to take advanced reading instruction class, that would be related to my position and would be approved.
So it was put in the last union contract that we pay for support staff's tuition reimbursement.
And we get a copy of
Yes.
that contract?
I don't have one.
I'd like a copy as well. And is there a certain amount
What's that?
reimbursable?
That I'm not sure of.
It's got to be approved.
I know there's.
Up to a certain amount a year.
One class.
No, because in this case, I believe it's a program longer than
That's the
1
way
year.
the bio-
This is her third semester. So
Well, let's get the contract and see. Oh, we have a copy of the contract.
Tuition reimbursement, the district shall grant each employee financial tuition cost for one college class per year, one college class per year.
Isn't the contract online? Is it on?
Not to exceed the ISU rate and provide the
The
courses
website?
are
Yeah, it is.
approved in advance by the superintendent.
contracts are on the website?
Completes. Here it is. But it's one class per year. Did you guys do it last semester as well? I mean, I don't know. You guys did it in December. You said she's taking 3.
she's taken 3 semesters, but I don't remember if we paid for anything.
You did? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I just.
I believe Mrs. Cornwell pulled up all 3 semesters, so I would tend to agree with Mrs. Bailey that it was. And if, at the discretion of the superintendent, if they deem it, I believe was where the contract was stated.
But it's only one per year if they do.
Least,
No, it doesn't say at least one per year. It says one per year.
Well,
right.
should we table this until we find out more?
Should we just pull that check out?
Well, that's a fairly hefty check that Mrs. McCarter was already approved for.
No, she wasn't approved for it. This
Yes.
is one per year.
She was approved for it. That's
The
why
board
she took
approved
it.
it? I
The
don't-
board gave Mrs. Davis the right to approve classes.
Can we have that motion? Because the last motion I looked it up was October 17, 2011, for tuition reimbursement for it says tuition reimbursement for staff that is not represented, for non-represented staff. It didn't say anything about represented staff. I know it's kind of a weird motion.
Okay, yeah.
Staff that are not in a union.
Okay, what's the issue here?
So apparently this person's in a union, so they're saying we never approved it.
You never approved it, even though it was in
That's
the
what-
collective bargaining
That's what I'm
agreement.
hearing.
Collective
I don't
bargaining
know.
agreement says it says, I will read it. The
Yes,
district
one per
shall
year.
reimburse employees the actual tuition cost for one college class per year, not to exceed the ISU rate, and provided the course has been approved in advance by the superintendent, and the
Okay.
employee completes the course with a grade C or better.
ISU has higher class
Okay.
costs
What we need
compared
to do-
ICC.
Okay, what we need to do is obviously there needs to be some investigation into what the situation is. All right, so unfortunately, we will be telling an employee that she will now have to wait another month to receive tuition reimbursement for tuition.
Do we have to vote on that?
No, that's just something that needs to be pulled aside and will be investigated at a further,
If some of us do not agree with that, though.
there wouldn't be a motion right here. You're pulling this check out of the treasurer's report or the list of bills. We're pulling it, setting it aside, it will not be approved, okay? So we are taking it out of until we have more information. Then we will have to come back to the next board meeting with that information. Someone will have to tell the employee that she is not being reimbursed tomorrow. And we'll have to look and see what the board did, because Mrs. Strong, I don't know. If the board approved
The
it,
discussion of ISU was put in there for that purpose,
Okay.
because ICC is $106.50 compared to whatever ISU
Mrs.
costs.
Reagan's,
That's my point.
right, Mrs. Reagan's
But
point
that was
is,
the point of having it in there.
My point
Because
is-
anything under that, a class would qualify. And if the superintendent approved it, then she could take the class. It had to be pre-approved. And that's my concern. We have approved this. And that was put in there for specifically to address the difference in college cost.
I understand that. My point, I don't care if it costs $5,000. My point was, it was only for one class a year. We were thinking she's already taken 3 classes.
We need to find out if she's taken 1 or 2.
Right, that's
Yeah,
all.
just take-
And how many are we paying for?
I honestly don't have my dates.
And if the school year starts in January, I mean, if it's from January to January, it'd be perfect for her. Because then this can be paid for January. But if it starts the school year, I mean, I don't know.
She's already had to pay
either.
for it.
Well, I just meant she could get reimbursed.
She's always already had to pay for it. So you're pulling it is the best we can do.
the Board of Education can approve all of it. This is discussion. You can approve the treasurer's, the bills, and you will be paid and you will go on, right? And that's legitimate and fine for the board to do. So, the next item is 14481, Montefusco HVAC Incorporated, an amount of $6,700. This is for the computer room, the technical office where we have the server. This is for a specific air conditioner component for the computer server room, as the current one,
About 10 years old is what.
and it's not performing the job, and we're having overheating.
They can't repair it.
It cannot be repaired anymore. So this is an emergency expenditure that will come out of the operations and maintenance.
Okay, so it's the
Well-
old air conditioner or something, the one we just put in, you guys just put in August or something?
Not that.
Okay.
Which room is this?
That's a computer room, straight
That
across.
was there.
Yeah.
It used to be a window air conditioner in the theaters, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so is this?
Mrs. Carnival said it's specific for computers only, and it is over. She thought at least 10 years old. And they have been out to repair it and service it, and they stated the last time it can't be. And of course, if you have a room that has that expensive of equipment, you better have it cool in there.
So did we get 3 bids on this, or is it just?
From my information from Mrs. Cornwell, because it is under a set amount, and she stated that she felt it was probably 10. Because it was under that, you did not need bids. And this company has...
$25,000, you have to publicly bid and let out specification for a contract. Okay. Is this a company that we've had dealings with in the past?
Mhm.
Okay, so it's an established vendor?
Yes.
This is an approved amount.
Or 500, which is, I mean, we have no specs.
It is a computer air conditioner, is what I was told. Specific for computers only. And it has to be
Part of the
in the...
central unit then?
It's not part of the other units. No, it's just only for that room.
Any other questions of the payments list? We should probably ask for a motion to approve that, each one of these individually, Madam President.
Okay, we still have a standing motion, I believe, for these two.
Which I can amend at any time.
You can withdraw and start it
Why don't you
again.
just withdraw and start over?
Okay. I will withdraw the previous motion that was made.
Thank you. Now we'll take a motion. And your second, I guess we should also withdraw.
I make a motion to approve the payments list, subtracting check number 14479.
Second. And should we put the payments list for this date? Sorry, I don't know, I'm just asking.
As
No, because
presented.
it's
No.
as
Okay,
presented,
okay, that's
and it's
fine.
also reflective of the date of this board meeting.
Okay,
So
it's fine, I just want to.
Sure.
No.
Do we have a second? Oh, you
We have a
seconded?
second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Griner.
Aye.
Brenda Cable. Rebecca Kern. Aye. Val Reagan.
Aye.
Gigi Strong.
I'm going to stand on no too. I believe it was approved, and I don't believe we're doing right by this employee. So, motion carried, right?
Oh, wait a minute, another vote.
Julie True.
Oh, I'm sorry, Julie.
No.
Can we have a motion for the treasurer's report, please?
I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Discussion. Having no discussion, roll call.
Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Griner.
Aye.
Brenda Cable.
Aye.
Rebecca Kern. Aye. Valerie Reagan. Gigi Strong.
Yes.
Julie True.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Going on to motion E2.
Now we have to approve board minutes, apparently.
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you for keeping me on. Now back to the approval of the board minutes.
I make a motion to approve the board minutes as presented. That's obviously not what you wanted.
You wanted them separated.
You wanted them separated.
We weren't here, is all.
Then you could just say no, just vote no or abstain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no reason to go through each one of them individually and vote.
And you did video them, and I'm sure you were present, so.
No, I was not present at the superintendent meetings.
Yeah, you have superintendent
Oh.
interviews in here.
Okay. All right, we're ready for,
Now we're discussion. The May 10th meeting, 2013, actually, there it is, minutes. terms. I know, I see that. And I see where you changed your typo. But I was just wondering, is it recognition of audience wishing to address the board and you put seeking portrait of Mr. Litchfield for rehanging in Litchfield building, re-rehung? There was other people who addressed the board. I didn't know why they weren't in here.
It is been considered, it's in the hands of the school lawyer, and so because of that reason, for confidentiality, it wasn't added.
But there's no confidentiality. A parent just asked for a meeting with the board in open
It's
session.
not the first time.
Right, and that's why it
And-
should be in here. If you can put one person in here, why do you
No,
not put everyone?
hers wasn't the first time asked. So because it is not a board matter, it is now being addressed through the attorneys.
But she wanted a
Mr.
meeting
Aldridge
with the
can-
board. So it was a board matter.
It wasn't the first time that she's asked for
But
that.
this is a new board.
Okay, and what we're doing is we're looking at the revised meeting and the revised minutes.
Mhm.
And so you're asking for
Why even
an
anyone who addresses the
an
board?
inclusion of, you want to revise these minutes how?
I just want to say, anyone who addresses the board, if you're going to put one person there, why do you not just put everyone there?
Very good.
Consistency was what I was told by two individuals that I did approach, and confidentiality.
This has
This
nothing to do
is
with
not,
consistency nor confidentiality.
Your comment is been recognized and can recognized by the board, and that's an understanding. There isn't much to say. If you're not asking for the board minutes to be revised in a
I'm
certain
asking for it to
way.
be revised and include everyone who addresses the board.
at this time, we're staying consistent with what has been done in the past, not only 2 years, but in the past many, many years. I remember being in front of a board and I was never acknowledged. So you're
Yes, you were.
asking,
I went back to the board minutes and I seen it.
okay.
It could be pretty benign. It could say parent request meeting.
That's exactly right. Parent request meeting with the board.
What's the name? About the Litchfield?
You didn't, right, you didn't say who asked for that.
It's just a good idea.
It was a public meeting and it was recorded on video, so it's not like
In open session.
it was.
But-
How would you like the minutes revised? How would you like them revised?
Right, we could do that as
Parent
revised.
requested to speak privately with the board.
Period.
Parent requested to address
The board at the
Board
next
of
meeting.
Education.
And you don't have to be that specific, but
Seems like I need to be. Parent to address asked to address the Board of Education. Period.
yeah.
Can we, then, can we have a motion to approve the minutes as corrected?
Make a motion that we approve the minutes as corrected to include in item D, the parent requested to address the Board of Education.
Oh, was that in D or G?
I
I'm
did
sorry,
G.
I wrote it in
It's
G.
G.
Is it G? Okay,
It's G.
just want to make sure.
It's at the bottom.
No, sure, her request was the beginning.
Yeah,
His
it was at the
request was the
beginning.
beginning. So it was in the
Yep.
beginning.
I thought it was.
No, I think they're
See,
right.
I remember that.
It was in the beginning.
You're right.
Very good. I will move it to comment, section D.
I would second that new motion.
I have a question. And it's of Julie, March 27th. It says amended. Do you have any idea how you amended it?
Seven.
We took out the names, remember?
We did.
Yeah, we took out the names of the interviewees because we didn't feel that was public information. That's why they all say that,
Right.
or they should all.
They don't. That one was different. That's fine. I didn't remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, you're right, they are, but I
I
want.
just thought maybe I missed something on the wall.
No, and I think it
Thought
was
maybe
only
was-
on the 27th that we took the names. I don't.
No, there were names on
Were
all
there
these.
names on all of them?
I thought maybe there was
Okay.
another motion for something else in executive session, like
Oh.
negotiations or something like that. I just
No.
don't remember.
It was only that, I believe. I don't know.
Just for future reference, I think we should include Mr. Aldridge on these minutes that he is here. Just, his minutes are fine, but like April 29th, they don't show that Mrs. Davis and Mr. Aldridge were here. And April 29th, it doesn't show that he was here, just in case you need to know at some future time. It looks like we did not have a superintendent present, so
And administrator. That will be taken care of here forward. So make that for tonight that I'm here. Anything else?
Are we ready for a roll call then? We've amended the minutes, got them seconded, and now we're ready for a roll call on the minutes. Okay, roll call please.
Linda Bailey,
Aye.
Pam Brenner, Brenda Cable, Rebecca Kern, yes. Valerie Reagan,
Present.
Judy Strong,
Yes.
Julie True.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, moving on to E2, we need a motion regarding the student activity fund. Reports for the Sound and Parkview schools.
I make a motion to approve the student activity fund reports for LaSalle and Parkview schools.
Second.
Do you want to divide those?
I'd like to go home tonight.
I'm sorry, they just haven't passed by them.
I understand I just missed something important.
This is getting my card. Let me just-
Can I answer any questions you may have?
It is the concern of a few members that they want to address it. So I'm sorry.
I have approval for that. I have 4 kids to feed. You need to approve it.
Mr. Aldridge?
I wish I knew what to tell you, Ms. Strong.
I have approval from Jeannie Davis. And so does Shelley Cornwell. Is she sitting here? Have you not approved hers?
It wasn't on.
That wasn't on the list that I saw. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you what, the roof's gonna come off this place.
Don't look at me, ladies. You're the ones who are.
You ain't seen
I
nothing.
don't think they discussed with the audience.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
that's fine. That is completely your decision, but you will be sorry. Yep, you will be
Take a
sorry.
short recess, please.
Don't have to.
She's an at-will employee, she's not under that's motion. No, she's not.
Use our motion.
To approve the student activity funds for LaSalle and Parkview.
And let's keep them together. Tonight we'll consider that for further consideration at another time.
Oh, I got a discussion. I was wondering, just in general, I know that you guys are here in the activity fund for Parkview, because, I don't know, I'm just hearing from the audience here table. So, did you get stuff resolved that you needed resolved because of February, so we're approving the balance of February. You guys, as I know, have never approved the activity fund. It was always tabled, so we're starting this from February
It was
13th.
tabled once, I believe.
Exactly, and it was never approved. And that was going on since last October. Is that correct? So we don't have anything in here from last October to now, we just have February with this balance.
Were you given an updated version of it like the last meeting?
Yes.
No, we didn't get it. You guys might have.
You had a packet, it was in the packet.
It wasn't in the last packet.
If we got it in the last packet, you did.
I didn't get it, and we didn't approve it. It's not on the minutes.
Yes, it was.
Okay, but I think some of it was in here. We did get receipts from Sam's Club, Costco, from October. It's from October through December.
Okay.
Yes. Because my issue was there were not checks, there were not deposits shown. And I had asked for something. And so he did give us all of, Mr. Jokic, I assume, gave us all of the copies of the expenditures.
Right, our present. Right.
So, yes. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, because the board had not been approving these activity reports, is that where the issue is?
You haven't, yeah, it hasn't been approved for a couple of years, so you start in February this year, and we're gonna start approving it for that, and we assume that this balance is correct.
You just stated we had minutes. Go ahead, Mrs. Gray.
I did ask for LaSalle's a couple meetings ago. I asked for her to catch us up. I balanced those. They were correct. We can go ahead and approve LaSalle.
Okay.
You guys did not get all of the park views, so we probably need to request park views.
What are you seeing that we're missing in the pot here?
We need activity reports, just like what's in here.
Okay.
We need those from May 2010 to current. 2 years ago.
To May 2010 to what?
To current.
So May 2010, when we were not even.
That's the last ones that
People
was.
weren't even on the board.
Right, that's the last ones that were approved. We approved April.
Did they take a 10 or 11? Do you mean May 11?
Are you talking about May 11?
2011.
2011,
Yeah.
because that's when we were elected.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
2010
2011.
wasn't
Okay.
existed, I was sitting out there.
Okay. Okay, then we need those from May 2011 to current, and then we'll be good to go.
Mr. Jokish, can you address that with us? Do you believe that is a report that you can get together for us?
It's a report that's already been gotten together because Linda has it in
Right.
the FOIA.
Mhm.
So
I
if
have the
Linda
FOIA.
could maybe make a copy of it and give it to us.
I will
we
be
could
glad to do that.
We could be, share
Okay.
this information.
All right.
So,
I will do that before next month's meeting.
I mean.
I'm sorry, I just got in town
Okay,
yesterday. Maybe I should have called her and asked her if she had it.
And
So
if
we can
include
approve
last
it.
month's too, since we didn't get that.
We have license.
Mhm.
Okay, if you would like me to, I'll get it all together and give it to the office, or you want Mr. Jokish to do it.
There's no sense in paying you twice. I already got it.
Okay. While we're,
Because I know it takes Andrew a long time.
This came up at the last, when I tabled it the last time. And so honestly, you've been sitting on this information for this long, share it with us, please. We're in the same boat here, we're same board members. So
can we understand how we can't be asked to approve it?
I get that, but I can't approve something if you're sitting on all the information.
I
That's the information.
For 2 years. At this point, if you would just bring it and let us have it.
I kept asking for it, the only way I got it was for this, so.
Okay.
I will do that before the next meeting.
But tonight we can approve the sales, is that what we're saying?
And they approved it last time, the board, I remember
You
that.
just don't want to approve what we got in front of us without having
Correct.
previous.
Correct.
You
LaSalle
want to
is good.
start from where it is.
LaSalle is good if you want to trust my judgment to balance them. We balanced it, it's good. while we're on this, the auditor told us that we needed to approve anything that was using our PIN number.
Yes, and
Correct.
that has been in consideration. I will be discussing it.
So we
further.
should have that by the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So we need to amend the previous motion to only include LaSalle's activity fund report.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna make that motion next after we do this first amended motion.
Okay, roll call. Does everybody know what the motion is on the floor? Okay. Yes.
Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Grant.
Aye.
Brenda Cagle. Rebecca Kern. Aye. Valerie Reagan. Judy Strong.
Yes.
Julie Drew.
Aye.
Motion carried.
I make a motion to table the Parkview School Activity Fund.
Second.
Roll call.
Linda Bailey. Pam Grant.
Aye.
Brenda Cagle. Rebecca Kern. Aye. Valerie Reagan.
Aye.
Judy Strong.
Yes.
Julie Drew.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Moving on to E3, we need to table that. New information has been brought to the board just today. The wax that was used in the hallway, on the hallway floor was used on the gym floor. So therefore,
Is that why it's peeling?
yes, instead of using a gym floor wax. So they are getting estimates for us, getting the company to do the warranty on it, and will get back with us. So we need to table that today. No, I don't think so. We did, I thought we just tabled it.
You need a motion, if you, no action, you just keep it on.
Okay, let's do no action.
Okay.
Let's move on. E4, we need a motion for the annual membership dues.
I make a motion to approve the 2013-2014 ISBE annual membership dues in the amount of $3,010.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, roll call please.
Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Grant. Brenda Cagle. Rebecca Kern. Abstain. Valerie Reagan.
Aye.
Judy Strong.
Yes.
Julie Drew.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Going on to motion of E5, Parkview and LaSalle School temporary construction of the easement resolution. Need a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve the Parkview and LaSalle School temporary construction easement resolution. Second. As presented.
Second.
Mrs. Cagle already.
Discussion?
Why is Mr. Thomas?
He was here,
on all of
remember,
this?
because he was here, they've requested new signatures. He will not be on this.
Right, what we need is a motion to approve for Ms. Strong to sign the,
It's the girl that.
The documents for the
presented
temporary
about the
easement?
And Chuck was president, so I assume when they typed up all the stuff, they just used his name.
exactly. The village made a mistake.
Yeah.
They have Mr. Thomas on there. We have already contacted the village, and they were going to produce new records using Ms. Strong's name. so they will be filed correctly. So you just need a motion to,
So we can amend the motion saying we give this a strong authorization.
this is strong authorization, yes. That'll work.
Mrs. Stewart.
Can you
So I'm
amend
in the motion to replace Chuck Thomas's name with Judy Strong. Is that?
Roll call?
Linda Bailey,
Aye.
Pam Griner,
Aye.
Brenda Cagle, Rebecca Kern, aye. Valerie Reagan,
Aye.
Judy Strong,
Yes.
Julie True.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Moving on to E6, motion regarding agreement with BMS Speech Services, please.
I make a motion to approve the agreement with BMS Speech Services Limited.
A second.
Okay. It has the wrong dates on here. It has August 21st, 2012 to should be 13.
It's probably a copy of last year's
Right.
contract.
And also she says BMS employees expected to work 5 to 7 days per week and 7 hours a day.
That's because they have to hire more than one person to cover our IEP mandates. So she does all the hiring. We don't have to have the expense of insurance and all that. She is their employee, so we pay her for those hours, which are mandated hours.
Right, so they're not working 7 days a week. They're just
No.
working 5, but they might have 2 employees.
Yes.
Right.
Can we get a motion just to correct this one and go on that order, please? Mrs. Tripp, did you make the first one?
Just the dates wrong. This is
Yeah,
our
2013 instead of,
So does it give is it 2013 to 2014, or is it just say 2013?
It just says 2012.
Beginning on or about August 21st, 2012, expiring at the end of the 13-14 school year.
So that actual date is wrong, but that date is correct.
Correct, that's right. That's right.
So it's a typo.
Just,
Right.
just put 13 in there.
So I am in the motion to correct the contract, to say 2013.
yes, August 21st, 2013. And a second? On or about, it says, that we're coming. Roll call?
Linda Bailey,
Aye.
Pam Griner, Brenda Cagle, Rebecca Kern, aye. Valerie Reagan,
Aye.
Judy Strong,
Yes.
Julie True.
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right, moving on. We are at E7. We need a motion, please.
I make a motion to approve the agreement with Sylvia Murphy, LSW.
I second.
I've already spoken with Mrs. Strong. I would like to see what our options are. I do understand that this contract says that either party can terminate the contract with a 30-day notice. For years, we had our own counselor, and I think we just need to look at options that's available to us.
And as I stated to Mrs. Bailey, we are quite fortunate to have her as a social worker with us. Sylvia Murphy, she is much less expensive than an employed counselor, of which we used to employ. But I liked what she brought out, that we do have a 30-day notice. If Mr. Aldridge, as he comes into office and begins to see that he's agreed that he'll look at it for us. So
And we may need both.
I was
Could
going to
use
say, is there
both.
a payment every both?
the budgeting is Mr. Aldridge's directive at this moment, so, but that is something that I'm sure he's making a note of. So we made a, we made a motion, is that correct? Roll call, please.
Linda Bailey,
Aye.
Pam Griner,
Aye.
Brenda Cagle, Rebecca Kern, aye. Valerie Reagan,
Aye.
Judy Strong,
Yes,
Julie True.
Aye.
Motion carried.
thank you. Moving on to E8, we need a motion, please.
I'll make the motion to authorize the bookkeeper to issue a check and make 8 reservations for the IASB Joint Annual Conference. On
Discussion.
November 22nd through 24th.
Okay. 2013. 2013.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is every board member available to go? Or
So if someone can't go, then we're paid ahead and you get that money back.
You cancel.
There is
Yes,
reservation
you do.
cutoff times, yes.
You do get the money back.
But we need to get the reservations in now to get the lower fee. But then if we need to cancel it, there's, those 1 week, 7 days, 72-hour, we just have to meet those timelines.
And I did give each of you a copy of our policy number 2125, school policy for board member expenses. We hold our own employees to our policies on reimbursement through their receipts that they have turned in. So I wanted us to be aware that we will also be doing an accountability to the community. And this policy was approved back on January 2013, so it's the most current one, and it does give us a good outline of what to expect. And as this outlines, if there is no repayment, because the motion was that we do put ourselves on their list and send off didn't you also mention send off a payment for that
yes, if you
in the
want.
motion? So because of that, if there is, and that's fine, I believe, but if there is expenses that need to be reimbursed, we need to have that in place, ready to go at the next meeting that we would come back, or the next 2 meetings, within the next 2 meetings. So that's why you have that policy.
Okay, by authorizing the bookkeeper, I think it's June 10th that it opens up. Then you can request your hotels
Yeah.
when you get the ones that you
Right.
specifically want.
Right,
Do you
and
want
if-
those?
Yes, I do. Can you turn those into me tonight before you leave? So if you'll all let me know what hotel that you want.
That's the only discussion we're having is what hotel is most important. We just haggled over not paying someone $1,300 and we're gonna spend $10,000 to go to Chicago for the weekend.
Not quite that much, but,
$1,200 a person.
and you don't
Times
think it's
8.
worth it?
I didn't go last year because we cut down on field trips. And so, I mean, going every single year, I don't think is a priority for this board. No, I don't.
For the full board.
For the full board, no, I don't.
Who would you suggest should be?
I don't know, but I don't think that people need to go 10 years in a row or every single year.
But there's always different topics each year, and it also gives you new
Right.
information.
And you know what? I didn't go last year, and I maintained my master board status, not going to Chicago. Training, not going to Chicago. Not spending $1,200 of taxpayer money.
If you go to some of those individual conferences here, you will pay that much or more to get the same
I
experience. you get
did
in
not
Chicago.
spend $1,200 training here. I'm just
I'm
saying.
saying you get the same effect that you do by going to the training in Chicago.
But I didn't have to spend $300 a night to stay in a hotel anywhere. I'm just saying, we didn't have any kind of discussion on how much money we were spending. You just want to get in your hotel reservation as fast as possible.
We don't have a choice. I
No,
mean, the
we do have a
conference
choice
costs-
whether we
You
go
do.
to the
We
conference
do,
or
we
not.
do, but the conference costs X amount of dollars. We can't get it cheaper.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is.
But you can do your mandatory board training in Champaign and not stay in a hotel. You can do it in
Do
Bloomington
your mandatory board training online.
online,
not
which is what I did.
anything.
Yes.
But that's still not what they offer in Chicago as far as the training.
I know. I did all kinds of seminars in Chicago to get as much for my money as I could.
We even
But
stayed extra on Sundays.
Yes.
So
We
you
got
don't
it 2
feel that
years
it
ago.
did you any good? Is that what you're saying?
I do, but I didn't go last year because I felt that we were spending too much money to go. I didn't feel that it was worth $1,200 now. I did not for going every single year. I did not. I just feel that there are so many things that kids in this district need, spending that kind of money. I mean, one of our employees just got her check denied, and that's how much it costs for one of us to go to Chicago. A whole semester.
That just needs a clarification.
Which could have been avoided had my email been addressed.
But you sent it today.
Yes, I did. Early this morning.
Yeah.
Was the first chance I had to do it. My schedule does not match Mrs. Davis's.
No.
She turned it in right away. It was done and waiting when I got in this afternoon. Mrs. Cornell just had it forwarded to you.
Okay, so the answer has been given.
I stated the answer on the other, but we are already past that. But yeah, I've stated.
I'm just saying that
I
before
agree with Becky. I
before
don't
we spend
necessarily
this much
think everyone
money, it
needs
needs
to
to
go every
be,
year.
yes, discussed a
But
little
there's
bit
always
more.
different topics every year. So maybe we should just say, pay for your own. If you want to go, you pay for your own.
And that's what Linda offered to do last year.
Right.
But, I mean,
So everyone just pays for their own.
I think that that's a grand idea.
But it needs to be voted on, because we just voted on to approve it.
No, we just made the
No, we
motion.
did not.
We didn't, sorry.
The motion is still on the table.
The motion
Well, we
is still on the
just
table.
vote now. I mean, I think it's good because you do get training.
Yes.
You do learn about, I mean, they might even have core competency, which that's where we're supposed to be going. And we hadn't had, I haven't had any information on it. So it would be nice if they had information up there about that.
But have you looked online to see what they're offering yet? Did you get on and see?
No, I haven't. I was out of town for work. I just got back yesterday.
See, so
when
none
does
of
it
us,
actually take place?
Not till
November.
Okay, I know it's like November 22nd, but are the classes that night?
Yes.
The classes the next morning?
they're all day
Friday and
Saturday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Or is that the-
Yes. And they're
And
all
if
day
you-
until 5 o'clock.
And some special ones on Thursday.
We have to pay extra.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
And they look good usually, but they're a lot.
So I think considering that no one has even gotten online to see what they're offering, I don't think we should vote on it.
I'm not even sure it's available yet, is it? They got their panels out there?
I mean, there's close to, 80, 100 different classes.
Mhm.
If you can't find 4 to educate yourself, there's a problem.
And
Okay, I have a question. Does everyone here actually go to the classes, or do we just go up there and say we go to the classes and we don't go to the classes?
We used to even go to the classes and come back and report on it when we were on the board. What we learned, what we did, you know, what they discussed for the future. I mean, that's how we learned about RTI.
That
We
way
went up there.
you can share with the other board members, because you can't go to all of them, there's no physical possible way. So you come back and you report on what you did, and sometimes there's even extra handouts. And so you share that information with the rest of the board. And it makes the board members accountable.
obviously, IASB deems it very important that what they present is quality for board members. And the state is now getting in line for at least 2. However, the rest of it, you have to function on the monthly decisions. So it is good quality training. I don't
We're not
think
arguing that
anybody
it's
would
good
argue
quality
that,
training.
right? Well,
What we're saying is it necessary that 8 members go?
Right.
plus
She just said 8
Well, the
reservations.
superintendent.
So it would be 8. Is it necessary that 8 people go versus 3, let's say? And then those 3 bring back information to the rest of the board, potentially? I'm saying 3, I'm saying 4, I've
And
thrown the number out
how
there.
do you determine that, Mrs. Drew? I think it's probably a
You
question.
draw straws, what the heck? I mean,
Well, I don't see why you can't send all board members out there.
well,
There's also something called board bonding, and I think this board could use that, to be honest with you. While you're going and learning about the classes, it wouldn't hurt for the board to bond just a little bit.
Or even talk every evening what we learned.
Exactly.
I mean, make it more accountable when we're up there, that we will meet every evening and continue. Can we do that? Is that legal?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Sure, as long as you're not conducting board business.
Right, if we just talk about what we learned. It's not an official meeting. Is that-
Mr. Office,
Yeah.
is it?
I don't know.
There's an issue with ISBA Joint Annual Conference. Full boards of education do go there for improvement and self-reflection and evaluation, which is something that the boards can do without it being a public meeting, and it is, it's perfectly appropriate for the board, as long as you're not discussing public businesses, transactions, anything to do with the board agenda, anything that happened at school that day. As long as you're not doing that and you are discussing other things, it's not a public meeting, so this is one of those exceptions.
All right, let's have a roll call. On the motion that's standing. We can revisit it, I believe, can't we?
The only thing you have right now is the deadline for early registration, which opens Monday, June 10th. To register for hotels. After that, you do not, you're not guaranteed your hotel of choice, that's all.
Right, but can we vote on the motion that's on the floor, and then if it goes or it doesn't, and we have a new motion on the same IASB, maybe in a different directive? Not sending all as,
can we repeat the motion, please?
She wants 8 reservations made for the weekend of
November.
Yes, someone can make another motion as to
Yeah.
the action item.
Right, after this one is in there, okay.
I authorize the bookkeeper to issue a check for 8 reservations for the 2013 IASB Joint Annual Conference.
Roll call, please.
Linda Bailey,
Aye.
Pam Griner, Brenda Cagle,
Aye.
Rebecca Kern, no. Valerie Reagan,
Aye.
Judy Strong,
I'm going to say no.
Julie True,
I abstain.
motion carried.
Okay, traveling on, we are to E10, motions regarding the schedule of board education meetings during the summer. Or did I skip one? Oh, it looks like the same acronym, sorry. Let's try E9 then. A motion for E9, please.
Make a motion to approve the 2013-2014 IESA registration membership fee in the amount of $490.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Linda Bailey,
Aye.
Pam Griner, Brenda Cagle, Rebecca Kern, aye. Valerie Reagan,
Aye.
Judy Strong,
Yes.
Julie True.
All right.
Now on to E10. A motion, please. Maybe we have to
I
have
can make a
discussion.
motion. I don't know what
You don't have
How do
any
you want me to make
information.
it? Do you want me to like change the meeting dates or?
I believe this was on here to address our COW meetings for the summer.
Okay, so what do you want me to say?
That we
That
have
was my
one
question
meeting.
today when I
that we have one meeting.
Cancel the board meeting, the committee of the whole meetings on June 4th and July 2nd.
Okay, that's what you want. Okay, I make a motion to cancel the Board of Education Committee of the Whole meetings on June 4th and July 2nd.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the date.
Okay.
One second.
I ask why?
Yeah.
Why?
Those are mostly informational meetings, and I would say the one especially in July is the second, being through the holiday. The other reason we have done this in years past for the meetings, of course, we're in transition with a informational feeder. Mrs. Davis is on leave, so to have enough information to make it worthy of board members to give it their time on these 2 dates, I think is what we need to be addressing. We can have the same items if you want to discuss them, if you get, with either Mr. Aldridge or myself, or what you would like to see on the regular meetings. We're still having regular meetings. These are the committee of the whole.
I suggest that board retreat meetings during the committees at some point.
We're still in the same position. We're still in a transitional spot. And, you still don't have enough information. It's not,
A retreat would be different than an informational committee meeting. It's just to get together, basically.
okay.
Well, then
Or
decide what
is it a
direction.
training, or is it a?
Does it say maybe
what
have a
are we
training?
Do you like it in here?
Yeah.
We have one IASB training coming to us, but we have to wait till Mr. Aldridge officially starts.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, that was part of our superintendent search package. Remember?
Maybe we could do that in August or September.
It's usually when boards that do hire new superintendents, they will have their board retreat, their training session with the ISBA representative, field representative. They usually do that after school has started, the superintendent's in place, and then usually August, September. It's a half a day, so they usually take place on Saturdays. We would have to fit it into Dr. Langdon's schedule, but I've already contacted him previously to make sure that we are on his schedule. So that we're on his radar, not his schedule, on his radar. And then that's something that I've been taking care of after July 1st. That's good.
Thank you. Roll call.
Brenda Bailey,
Aye.
Pam Brown,
No.
Brenda Cagle, Rebecca Kern, yes. Valerie Reagan,
No.
Judy Strong,
Yes.
Julie Troop.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Informational items, F1, special ed performance data report. Good news, that was in the packet. Can't get better than 4s. I'm proud of the special ed in our district. That was F1. Any discussion? Mr. Aldridge, any comments?
No, I think that's wonderful. No findings of non-compliance. All of the scores, as Ms. Strong said, are very commendable. So it seems that the district is doing its utmost best for its students in need.
Thank you. Going on to F2, updated athletic concessions report from 2006 through 2013. Item F2 in our booklet. Expenditures and profit column. Comments? questions, Mr. Aldridge?
None for me. I'm not familiar with the history of the concession stand, but it seems that everything is being ordered. I'm not sure what other comments there would be.
Mr. Bailey?
On this, we are currently in discussion with the Pace Parent Group to
Yes.
take over.
Yes.
We pay the athletic director to do this. So if the Pace were to take over, what happens to their salary? I mean, that's part of the job description of the athletic director, am I correct? Something to think about, I guess.
Right,
I want an
and
answer.
I believe that PACE, we need to have some directives given to the acting superintendent and then on forward with Mr. Aldridge at our further meetings.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to F3, Unity Point Health. Just from Methodist to Unity Point Health name. Comments?
I believe this was also an item of information that was brought up with the insurance carrier from previous meeting, and that this was going to be taking place. So there is no action. This is just your informational item saying that this is taking place.
Moving on to F1, informational item, mandatory and new board member training. There again, I want to remind us of our policy in place.
That's what I need to know last night.
Yes, and these are mandatory. So we have 4 members that do need to take note of this specifically because you are mandated now to have these
The other
provided.
stuff that is in Chicago is just something that we can do, it's like a convention or whatever, but it's
Right.
not mandatory.
Right.
However, the mandatory training does take place in Chicago as well.
Just mandatory training take place in Chicago?
They usually have sessions that cover the mandatory training, yes.
Oh, the Open Meetings Act?
All of that
Well,
does
I
does
think
usually
it-
take place.
It says 90 days after the open.
If
meetings.
you're if it falls within that, then, brand new board members have the 90 days to get the Open Meetings Act training done, but it's for any other informational purposes. It does take place in Chicago.
I have a question. Who are the all-in employee officers for the district? Because when you go online to take your test, you need to know.
I'll have to check into that. I believe
It's on the website.
it's the secretaries
I
too.
believe so when
It
you
is.
take it, you have to say if you are or you're not, so we need to know who it is.
I believe Mrs. Cornwell and,
Okay, previously we did have board members that were appointed to, so that's why I asked.
I'll have to check
Hmm,
it out.
yeah.
They
Um,
suggest, at least one board member do it.
So, to beyond this, let's stay with item F4. There is training at the different sessions, but however you can see, May 10, 11 is obviously gone, the Effingham. So there's one in Normal, Collinsville, Springfield, Moline, and Champaign. Cost of the training, again, does it say it on here?
It does not.
It does not. The one-day training is $175. The two-day training is $325.
It says it on there somewhere because I read it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right at the beginning, I believe. Well, no.
It didn't, maybe there's a page that doesn't.
It was on the information Julie gave us last night.
I did it on the other sheet.
Thank you for that information. And would board members that are needing to have this mandatory training get with me tonight if you deem that you want to go with one of those? Thank you.
So we pay for that, or we're supposed to pay for that, how does that happen?
That is something that comes out of Board of Education training funds, so yes, the school will take care of that.
So if you go to 2-day, then it's 25.
We need a motion for executive session, please.
Make the motion to enter executive session for discussion of appointment, employment, performance, termination of personnel, and student matters.
Second.
Roll call.
Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Shiner. Brenda Cagle. Rebecca Kern. Valerie Reagan. Judy Strong.
Yes. Okay. Motion to go back into regular session.
Resume.
Roll call. Sorry.
Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Griner. Brenda Cagle. Rebecca Kern. Aye. Valerie Reagan.
Aye.
Judy Strong.
Yes.
Julie Tripp.
Aye.
Motion carried.
We need a motion for I-1.
J.
My glasses and
Yeah.
Oh, here they are. Let me put that on. J1.
No, it's on.
Oh, okay, it is on.
Shane needs his one.
No.
I-1,
Oh, I don't have the newest one. You guys have them. Sorry.
employment of
One second. I
custodial.
can hold. Minute. I'm sorry, Mrs.
I make a motion for employment of custodial summer help as presented.
Second.
Roll call.
Linda Bailey.
Do we need to list people for future reference? or no?
Mr. Aldridge.
There's no problem. They're current employees. If we would like to list each and every one individually, that's perfectly fine. I'm trying to find that list. Sorry.
It's way
I got it.
Oh, okay.
That's why it said as presented. That way it can just,
I think in the minutes it wouldn't show next time. I don't know.
But the minutes also include the board packet, the information that's in the packet, right?
It does?
Mhm. All the information that's in, that is kept for the board minutes and the documentation stays with those minutes. So you can go back and look and reference all of that.
anyone in
So
compliance.
if you go online, you can see.
No,
In the
no,
office.
that's
Oh,
not.
in the office. Okay,
Because now
roll
we have to
call.
post this minutes after that.
Pam Griner. Brenda Cagle. Rebecca Kern. Yes. Valerie Reagan.
Yes.
Judy Strong.
Yes.
Julie Tripp.
fine.
Motion carried.
And moving on to I-2 motion, please.
Motion to post 7th and 8th grade math teacher for the 2013-2014 school year.
Second.
Roll call.
Linda Bailey.
Aye.
Pam Griner. Brenda Cagle. Rebecca Kern. Yes. Valerie Reagan.
Yes.
Judy Strong.
Yes.
Julie Tripp.
Fine.
Motion carried.
I-3, there is no action taken. I-4, I need a motion, please.
I move that the district contract Mrs. Jeannie Williamson to serve as acting superintendent effective May 22nd, 2013, and extending through June 30th, 2015. Mrs. Williamson shall be paid $50 per hour for her services and shall work 27 days unless the board, acting through its president, notifies her that her services are required for fewer days.
Second, please.
I second it.
Roll call?
Linda Bailey,
No.
Pam Griner,
No.
Brenda Cagle,
Yes.
Rebecca Kern, yes. Valerie Reagan,
No.
Judy Strong,
Yes.
Julie True.
Aye.
Motion carried.
On personnel matters, I need a motion, please.
Let me get to that.
This one?
Yes.
Yes, go for it.
I motion to pay check number 14479 to Mrs. McCarthy.
We said we weren't gonna do all that, we were just gonna do that number, right?
No, we did all.
For the amount
Go for it.
of $1,308.50 for reimbursement for her class taken in spring 2013, and to approve reimbursement for her classes during the summer of 2013, as approved by the superintendent.
I second it.
Roll call?
Linda Bailey,
Aye.
Pam Griner, Brenda Cagle,
Aye.
Rebecca Kern, yes. Valerie Reagan,
No.
Judy Strong,
Yes.
Julie True.
Aye.
Motion carried.
This meeting is adjourned. Need a motion?
Your motion to adjourn.
We need a motion. I thought we were done. I didn't have a motion.
I'll second it.
Who made the motion?
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Linda Bailey, Pam Griner, Brenda Cagle, Rebecca Kern, yes. Valerie Reagan,
Yes.
Judy Strong,
Yes.
Julie True. Motion carried.